Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. Hey, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. I'm trying to get to 70,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. I've got a long way to go, but I think it's possible. If you would help me out, I would greatly appreciate it. Today we're taking a look at the brand new AxyToys Dinosaur Battlefield Ceratosaurus Tribe Large Roof Deluxe Edition Dinosaur Battle Warrior figure or something like that. I know I'm close, but huge thank you to the folks over at AxyToys for sending this out to me to review. I do appreciate it. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, starting off with the packaging. On the front here, you have a couple of shots of some of the AxyToys dinosaur figures. I guess these are two of the different variations that you could get of the Ceratosaurus. Up there it says Dinosaur Battlefield, down there it says AxyToys and all that good stuff. On the side, we get another shot of the figure. On the back, we get some more shots of the figures. And over here, we get a look at the other figure that you could get, or the other color anyways. And then when you open this up, you're able to see the figure inside there. Obviously, there's a bunch of plastic, so there's a little bit of a glare. And then over here, we get a bunch of information about the world that these crazy dinosaur warriors live in. So that's kind of cool to see all that. But yeah, that's about it for the packaging. It does look nice and all that good stuff. But enough about the box. Let's go ahead and get the dinosaur out and take a look. Okay, so here we have this guy right out of the box. And as you could see, he is looking pretty badass. I really love the designs on these dinosaur battlefield warriors. I think it looks really cool. I do have a couple of these, or I have a few of them. I have like 3 total, including this one, of the smaller bodies, and then 1 of the bigger bodies. With all the smaller bodies, they're all pretty much the same. Like the articulation and the sculpt and everything is identical between the 3 bodies. The only thing that kind of makes the figures different is the color of the actual character, obviously, and then like the armor setups. Like each one of these figures has a bunch of different like armored pieces you can like add on to the figure to make it look more interesting and kind of change it up. And that's really where the differences are in these different dinosaur figures. And the head sculpts, they each have different head sculpts. But on this one, he actually feels a little bit different. I feel like he's easier to pose around, and you know, like the joints aren't as tight as they were on the previous one, so that's good. Definitely seems a little bit more fun to play with. And you know, obviously I don't have all of his armor on yet. The amount of armor and things that he comes with is absolutely ridiculous, and we'll take a look at that stuff in just a second here, but I just wanted to give you guys a look at him right out of the box. And then here's a quick look at him with all the armor taken off. And as you can see, these things are really well sculpted. There's a bunch of great muscle definition, some nice texture to the skin, and they're just really cool looking characters. And you know, you could definitely use these guys for like customs or something, you know? You could make like a cool lizard custom, or maybe get some like, you know, some original armor pieces to put on there, maybe 3D print something, or some soft goods. There's lots of like potential with the cool like body like this. So yeah, this is dope. Alright, so here we have him decked out with pretty much every accessory that he comes with. I did have 3 little pieces that I wasn't able to find a spot for, but that's okay. I think he has enough going on. As you could see, this is complete insanity. He's got like a bunch of like horns and bones and spikes and just all kinds of crazy stuff. Like AxyToys, they just go insane with all the little attachments. It is really cool. Like having a little group of these on your shelf will definitely like stand out. It'll look interesting, you know, because these dinosaurs with just like all this stuff, it's just so like over the top, you know. And then he does have a soft goods cape that has a wire in it, and it looks like there's only a wire on the edges, nothing in the middle, but the wire's pretty strong, so you could pose it up and do different things. I like how it's all ripped up and discolored. That is dope. But yeah, man, this is super cool. Man, every time I see this, it's gonna crack me up because they're just it's just so extreme, you know. Reminds me of something that would have come out in the 90s. But look at that, man. So many little details and attachments, and it's just insane. So getting in close to take a look at the details on him, starting off at the face. Man, AxyToys always does such an incredible job with the details and the sculpting work. It's really, really impressive. Like, check out what we have going on here at the head. I love the texture that the skin has, and then the different colors. I love the green eye too. It really stands out against the orange. And look at the teeth. And then we do have an articulated mouth here, so you could open up his mouth and get a look at his awesome teeth. And then on the inside of the mouth, we have like a little bit of like a wet kind of look, so that is really cool. But yeah, look at that, man. That head sculpt is really nice. And then this armor on his head sits on there nicely. It doesn't really move around too much. And just look at the details on it. I love the paintwork, and just everything that we have going on here is so well done. And he does have like a horn on his nose. So yeah, really, really good. And then just check out all these spikes, and like look on this one. There's like a skull impaled onto the horn there. And yeah, you can move these horns and spikes around, put them in different places, and just do all kinds of cool stuff. See? Like, these come right out, and then there's little ports in there, so you could take like different ones and stick them in there. So yeah, there's all kinds of different things you could do to kind of change it up and make it look unique. And then check out like the leathery look that we have down in here. Then he's got a cool looking necklace, and one of his hanging things, whatever you want to call them, trophies I guess, maybe, fell off. But as you could see, all these hanging pieces have like hooks, so you could just kind of hook them on to various places all over the figure. And I really love the bone tooth necklace. I don't know if it's teeth. And then you could see right there on the base of his neck, I have like the hooks from the cape kind of just hooked onto each other. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to go. I couldn't really find another way, so you know, it is what it is. And then look at all this, man. Sorry about that. It's kind of hard to get a good look at everything because there's just so much going on. But I'm going to show you everything that I can. And look at the paintwork on the arm. I like the stripe look that he has going on. Almost like tiger stripes. I love that orange too. That's a really nice looking color. You can see it better here on the legs. Oh yeah, look at that. Super dope. And then he does have this soft goods loincloth that is really nice. It's very high quality. And you can see like a suede type of texture down here. It feels real good. So they do a great job with what little soft goods they have on here. I would like to see one of these guys decked out in like a bunch of soft goods, like some kind of like suit or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, look at all the details on here. The stitching on the boots. Go back up here to the wrist guards. We have some more like modular horns and spikes. So that's all really nice. These damn things are... The pieces that hang are kind of annoying. They do fall off kind of easy. So yeah, if you're like playing around with the figure, these things could get a little annoying. But look at the detail, man. Incredible work. So yeah, I think that's about it, man. When it comes to the details and the sculpting and just all the little things that they do, it's just really, really impressive. There's so much that goes into the design of these guys. And here's a look at the tail. And then looking on the back here, the shoulder pads are actually pegged into the figure itself, so they are pretty stable. I know it would have kind of ruined the aesthetic when you took the armor off, but I do wish there was a way to peg the front part of the armor down too. I don't know if... I mean, it would have sucked to have like a big old hole in the front, but I wish they did something so that we could peg this down. But the back peg does hold it down pretty well. Like, it's sturdy with just that. But sometimes, you know, this thing could kind of move up and kind of get annoying. But I do like that they have the back peg in there to kind of keep it in place. And there's just so much. That's like the funnest thing about this figure, is just like appreciating all the amazing sculpting work, and then like, you know, changing up all the different ways that you could put the spikes and horns and all the little pieces everywhere. That's really the funnest part of these things. So yeah, they're really unique in that way. In addition to all the crazy attachments, this guy does come with some cool accessories, including 2 sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of gripping hands, and then for the second set of hands, we have an open hand on the left side and then a bigger gripping hand on the right side. And, you know, speaking of the gripping hands, these things kind of drive me crazy because none of them can really hold on to the weapons all that well. Like, the tight gripping hands are a little too tight for most of the accessories. As you could see here, I have one of the tighter gripping hands holding on to the shield, and it was really difficult to get that on there. I had to heat up the hands and get them super soft in order to wrap them around the handle. And even once I got them on there, it just doesn't have like the best grip, you know? And the hand just can't really support the weight of the shield, so it just kind of like flops around, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. And then even with the bigger gripping hand, can't really hold on to like the bigger weapon, like the axe. I mean, you could kind of wedge it. You could wedge his fingers between the blade and the handle if you want to, but that's kind of an unnatural way to hold on to a big deadly weapon. So yeah, like look at that. That's one thing that drove me crazy on previous AxyToys Dinosaur figures, and it kind of sucks that that hasn't really changed this far along. So that's definitely something they could improve on. You know, the gripping hands could be a little better. And taking a close look at the weapon, starting off with the axe, look at this. This is insane. Check out all the blood on there. Look at all the design work and the details. I like how the handle is made from a bone, but then it's kind of wrapped right there where he'd be gripping it. And then we do have like another bone and hook thing hanging. Man, this is really dope. That's the one thing about these figures. The detail on the weapons and on the armor and stuff is just, it's incredible. Like, look at all that. And the blood looks like actual blood. So that is crazy, man. This is really dope. And then he does have his big old shield. And this thing is crazy too. Hey, it looks like the skull is smiling. What's up with that? But yeah, this is really nice too. And it does come apart. It's like in 3 pieces. So it comes apart. Actually, take off the handle. So we do have like this bone handle. And that's very cool. And then this piece does come off from right here. And then check out the wood grain. Man, that looks nice. And look at all this detail. They do such great work with the sculpting and the paint. Got some spikes and stuff. What do we have over here? Man. Oh, I don't know what these holes are for. I'm sure they serve some type of purpose. You could probably plug in one of the spikes or something that he has. But man, look at that. Really nice work. And then check out the detail on the skull. That's funny that it looks like it's smiling. And then it does have some like armored pieces on the horn here. Man. Really dope stuff. And then he does have a dagger that also has some blood on it. And once again, this thing is just beautiful. Really well sculpted. But just like the other bigger weapons and accessories, it's very hard to get him to grip onto this. Even with the tighter gripping hand, it just kind of sits in the hand loose. So that's something I think they need to take a look at. But yeah, man, the weapons are incredible. The sculpting and the detail, it's really, really well done. Alrighty, so now for some size comparisons. Here we have him alongside some of his AxyToys Dinosaur Warrior brothers. I don't know the exact names of these guys, but yeah, as you can see, they look amazing together. Like, having a whole army of these things would be pretty crazy on the shelf. And you know, when you put them together, you could start to see like the differences. At first, it's like, you know, like based on my memory, when I got this new one, I was like, I can't really tell what's different between this one and the last one. But now that I see them next to each other, the armor is drastically different. There's all kinds of different things going on, different attachments, different arrangements, different armor styles. So yeah, when you put them together like this, you could really appreciate the differences in each one of them. And then here we have them alongside the Mythic Legions Valiant Knight and the Mythic Legions Demonstros by the Four Horsemen. And I think these dinosaur figures fit in perfectly with things like Mythic Legions. And then here we have them alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Conan and one of the Zesray Studios Combatants Fight for Glory Gladiators. And I think these dinosaurs would make for awesome villains for Conan. Like, he does fight all kinds of like mythical weird creatures. So him against these dinosaurs works perfectly. And then next up, we have him alongside a Masters of the Universe Masterverse 40th Anniversary He-Man. On the opposite side, we have a Star Wars Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper. Here we have the dinosaur alongside the Marvel Legends Cable from the Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. And then on the opposite side, we have a NECA Golden Angel Predator. And these Dino Warriors definitely seem like the type to want to invade Asgard and take it over. So here we have them alongside the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Thor with the custom cape from Harker Customs. And then on the opposite side, we have the Marvel Legends Hercules. And I think these dinosaurs would work perfectly as some type of like weird savage land, you know, creatures that like exist there and kind of evolved over time and became these big old warriors. That would work. So here we have them alongside the Marvel Legends Zabu and the Marvel Legends Kazar. And then next up, here we have them alongside the Ceratosaurus Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Pale. And then on the opposite side, we have a Savage Crucible Royal Guard figure. And then here we have them alongside the Mythral Studios Guardians of the Horde Ogre. On the opposite side, we have one of the bigger AxyToys dinosaurs. And I actually like these bigger ones a little more, especially when you don't go crazy with the armor. Like how I have them right here is perfect to me. This is how I keep them displayed on my shelf. And then of course, for the final size comparison, here we have the Dino Warrior alongside the Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And the articulation on these guys is pretty good, but you can't really tell until you get all the armor off and then you're able to like experience the actual articulation. Once you do that, you find that there's a lot of good stuff going on here. I will say though, these figures do have an issue at the shoulder, and it would have been nice if by this point they would have fixed it, you know, because this is like the 4th release or something on this body. So it would have been cool if they fixed the shoulder, because it's got like this weird thing where it won't move freely in there. It's kind of tight when you like bring it up, and it's because like the shape of the actual shoulder joint is different than like the socket. The shoulder joint, it isn't like round, you know, it's kind of like an oval shape, I guess you could say, and it seems like the socket is just round, so it's kind of tough for the arm to move. I mean, it doesn't cause like any huge problems because you could still get his arm all the way around and stuff, but it's just a little tight right there, and it kind of scrapes the shoulder joint, so that is something that I wish they would fix. But aside from that, the articulation on these guys is nice. But let's go ahead and take a look starting off at the head. So there's movement at the lower neck, and then at this point in the neck, using both of those joints, he could look way up. I was kind of surprised by how much he was able to look up. And then he's able to look down to about right there. Can't come down as much as I would like, but still a decent amount. And then you can sway his head back and forth. It swings like that. Boom. And then the head does rotate at this point. And then you can also rotate at the lower neck. So some pretty good stuff going on at the head and the neck area. It's just kind of hard to explain because of this crazy neck setup. And then he does have articulation at the jaw, which is always nice. So you could change up the look. And then the torso is pretty good too. So he does have a diaphragm cut and then a ball joint at the waist. Using both of those, he could crunch forward to about right there, which, you know, I wish he got a little bit more out of it, but, you know, it's not too bad. And then it could go back to about right there, which is really nice. And we get some nice, like, side to side. You can swivel on the diaphragm cut. You could also swivel at the waist joint. So really good stuff here at the torso. This is definitely my favorite type of setup, you know. Diaphragm, a ball joint at the diaphragm and a ball joint at the waist. That's usually the best way to go in my opinion. So they did a good job there. And then he does have a tail which is able to move up and down like that. And it does have a bendy wire. You can't rotate it because the shape of the peg, it's like a rectangle. So it doesn't really rotate or anything. But it stays in place nicely and it does move quite a bit. So I like that. And then for the arms, he does have that ball joint at the shoulder. And it allows his arm to go all the way around, but as you can see, it's really tight. And then his arms come up to the side to about right there, which is pretty nice. He does have upper bicep swivel, a single joint at the elbow that also swivels. At the wrist, he has a ball joint that has a hinge, so you could move that around however you need to, so that's nice. And then for the legs, he does have ball joints which allow his legs to go up to about right there. And then he does have upper thigh swivel. You could kick his leg out to the side a really nice amount. Boom, let's check it out. Oh, I thought I broke it. So there we go. Dang, that's really nice. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't expect his leg to get up so high. So that is really cool. And then he does have upper thigh swivel. And he has a single joint at the knee that only goes to about right there, and then it swivels as well. And then down at the foot, he has a hinge and some rocking action. You bring his foot up to about right there, which is pretty nice. And they go forward to right there, and then they rock side to side. So yeah, even though he doesn't have like a crazy amount of articulation and he has single joints at the knees and elbows, I still think there's some good stuff going on here, and he's definitely a lot of fun to play with. And yeah, he's pretty posable for such a big character, you know? You could definitely get him into some cool poses. So I'm happy with it. I just wish they would fix the shoulder situation, but aside from that, everything else is pretty good. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, I think that AxyToys does a good job on these dinosaur figures. They're a whole lot of fun to put on all the attachments. They look incredible. They have some amazing sculpting work, a whole bunch of details, some nice paint. I like the inclusion of the soft goods, And visually, these things are amazing. It's really cool to have a little group of them on your shelf. They look intimidating, they look interesting, and you could definitely cross them over with a bunch of different lines, whether it's Mythic Legions, Marvel Legends in some cases. So they are a lot of fun. I will say though, I do have a couple of small gripes, nothing major, but one thing that really bugs me about these figures is the way that they can't really hold their weapons very well. Like the grips are either too loose or too tight, or the wrists can't support like the weight of the big heavy weapons. The big weapons are cool and everything. I love the big old axe with the blood, or the shield with the dinosaur skull on it. All of that is amazing, but it's kind of bittersweet because as cool as those things are, it's just a pain in the ass to have the figure actually handle their own weapons. So that's one thing I think they need to improve on, and I really wish they would fix the shoulder articulation. That's not really a big deal because it still works even if they don't, you know, but just the way it moves is kind of weird. It just kind of makes you feel like you're gonna damage the figure somehow because of that like awkwardly shaped shoulder joint inside of that socket area. It would be nice if they fixed that up. But yeah, that's a small gripe. Aside from that, I think these things are a lot of fun, and if you're into Mythic Legions or any of those types of lines, then these things will definitely fit into your collection. So yeah, they're awesome. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to AxyToys for sending these out to me to take a look at. I really do appreciate it. You guys do some awesome work. I especially love the 12 Bones figures. I can't wait to get some more of those, but you're killing it with the dinosaurs too. So huge shout out to them. If you guys want to pick up these figures, you could get them from Big Bad Toy Store or 5K Toys. So be sure to check out either one of those websites if you want to buy some dinosaurs. And before we get out of here, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you enjoy the video, leave a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Peace.